And we continue with previewing the State of the Nation address. We're now joined by Zimbali Mncube, who is a researcher at the Institute for Economic Justice, for more on this matter. Zimbali, thank you so much for joining us this evening here in SABC News. Of course, we know that South Africa is a country that faces the challenges of, poverty, inequality, and of course, a high unemployment. At the same time, when it comes to the socio-economic issues facing the country, what would you like to hear from the president tomorrow?
Yeah, I think just reflecting on the extract we just saw, it's quite sad that communities have been reduced to beggars and begging to government to do the right thing, which is essentially putting their needs at the center of government policy. And that is what we are calling for and expecting the president to deliver tomorrow when he addresses the nation. We're calling for a bold SONA, and by that we mean a departure from the way things have been done before. We're calling for an ambitious SONA, one that lays out a clear vision for job creation and sustainable economic growth in the country to ensure that people can be absorbed into the labor market and then support themselves. We're calling for the expansion of the SRD grant so that it can be increased to at least the food poverty line alongside the CSG grants. And these are all programs that the president in his SONA has acknowledged that they've made a significant impact in denting poverty and supporting those who cannot support themselves. And so the challenge and the issue that we are raising in our letter is that there hasn't been coordination and coherence within government. So whereas the president might tell us one thing tomorrow, we might see something completely different in the national budget when it comes to resourcing, because we know that the SONA is a vision and plan. It lays out the plans for the government, but the equally important document that we should be looking forward to is the national budget, which will be delivered by the Minister of Finance, Inokonoman.
And of course, we are a country having a struggling economy at the same time, and an economy that for the longest has really battled to create sustainable jobs in this country. How important is it then for you to hear the plans that this government has for job creation, even though we know that we are really at the end of this administration?
I think it's really, really important for government to take the role and step up, acknowledge that the state needs to play an important role where the private sector has failed. We've heard before the president saying that it's the role of the private sector to create jobs, which is not a true statement. And so one of the things that we are saying is that alongside a vision and a plan to create jobs, we need to revitalize public employment programs, which have played an important role to support people who are not in employment, most especially young people. You'll recall that the president announced the presidential employment stimulus, which assisted over 1 million young people into employment opportunities. But over time, that program has been scaled down, and we now had in the medium-term budget policy statement that it would be repurposed into the EPWP programs. And so what we're seeing is that one successful program is being pitted against other programs which are equally making important intervention. But of course, it's also key for the government to work with experts, civil society, and to a certain extent, progressive business social forces that can ensure that we carve out a clear program to create jobs sustainably. Because contrary to popular belief, No one wants
All
to
right.
earn a grant for their whole life. People want to find jobs and support their families with dignified forms of employment. So that's why it's key for that plan to be laid out and resourced in the budget.